Hello everybody, welcome to the Get Clear Show. I'm Laura, and today I want to talk to you about something that I get a lot of questions about, probably because it's something I know the most about, and that is how to become a life coach. Some of you have been following my website and have checked out my most recent blog post, and I address that very thing, how to become a life coach. I get that question all the time. I can't tell you how many people say, Laura, I'm interested in doing what you do, and I want to know how to get started. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. There are 8 key things that I think every person needs to know before deciding to become a life coach. And I have them in my blog. So let's just kind of scroll down and see what we have. So number 1, the most important thing I think is to get some type of training or certification, learn about life coaching. Find a program that you can get really good solid training in. I had 20 years in the helping field, almost 20 years. I was a counselor in a prison, I did private counseling, I worked in a treatment center. So I had a lot of the basic core skills that it would take to become a successful life coach. But there are still some things that are important to life coaching that you're not going to find in a different type of educational setting. So I recommend getting through some type of a training program, and there are several out there that are really good. Of course, I offer a training program, and you can get information on that if you go to my website and just send me a little email, sign up for our newsletter, things like that, and I can send you some information about going through our training program. Relatively inexpensive, doesn't take very long. You have your option of doing the training on Skype, or you can go ahead and have me send you the material and you can do the training that way. So that's the first and foremost, get some training. The other thing that I like to tell people is find out what the rules are in your state for doing life coaching. Right now in the state that I live in, life coaching is not a regulated field. In other words, you do not have to be licensed. Anybody can get into life coaching. There's no educational requirement, there's no licensing requirement. Having said that, I do recommend that you at least register your business name with your state. Go ahead and get your name registered with them for several reasons. It protects you so nobody else can use your name, and also it lets them know that the revenue that you're bringing in is legal and you're giving about it in an appropriate way. Okay, so that's the next thing that I recommend. Along those lines, what about coming up with a name for your business? Well, it can be as simple as John Doe's Life Coaching Service. Seems pretty innocuous, but if I'm looking at John Doe's Life Coaching Service and Jane Doe's Life Coaching Service, how do I know which one is going to be better for me? You know the old saying, what's in a name? Well, naming your business is pretty important. If you know you're going to specialize in a certain area of coaching, for example, maybe you just want to do business coaching or spiritual coaching, then you might want to say John Doe's Business Coaching or John Doe's Spiritual Coaching. Maybe you want to get into relationship coaching, coaching people how to have successful relationships. Then I would say choose something like John Doe's Relationship Coaching. Maybe you don't want to use your name at all, and that's fine also. If you're not sure of what name to pick, but you have a few that you're thinking about, send me a quick email, send me a quick message. I'll be more than happy to check out your ideas and give you some feedback on that. Okay, let's move on, see what our next tips are. Supplies and equipment. Well, I think if I was going to open up a restaurant, it would take an awful lot of overhead, awful lot of supplies, don't you? Of course. But what does it take to become a life coach? What type of equipment do you need? Well, I'm looking at my biggest tool right here. You need a computer. And in this day and age, you need a phone that has internet access. Anything that you need to do as a life coach can be done on the computer or on your phone. It's that simple. Of course, I always recommend that you keep hard copies of all of your important documents that you've created for your clients. And the best way to do that, of course, is have some type of a filing cabinet or a lockbox of some type to keep your things in. Otherwise, that's it. You're in business. It's that simple. But what about location? Oh, I get asked that a lot by people who want to become life coaches and say, I just don't have the finances right now to rent office space. Well, you don't have to rent office space when you're first starting out. You have all sorts of options. When I first started, I was actually working out of a small little office space in my home. My clients would come to me into that office space, and that was that. Over time, as my client base grew and I was seeing people full time, I got tired of them coming in and out of my house. And of course, with the client base growing, so did my business account. So I was able to rent a downtown office space. And that worked out pretty well for quite a while. But then I left that area and we moved to a bigger city. And what I found is that many of my clients in that big city just didn't have time to travel to me. And that was the biggest obstacle in getting them to use my services, was they didn't want to travel that far. So I became mobile. I had no office, which was really kind of nice. I didn't have to pay the overhead of any office space, and I also didn't have people traipsing in and out of my home. We met at various places, and I almost always gave them a choice of where they'd like to meet. We used restaurants, which I don't necessarily recommend if you're dealing with something that's of, a lot of privacy. Sometimes I went to their office or their home, and that worked out really well for them and also for me. I didn't have to maintain an office, and like I said, I didn't have people traipsing in and out of my own home. So when you're getting started, you might think about that. Do you feel comfortable having people in your home? Would you rather go to them and bill yourself as a mobile life coach? You can do that. Here's what I really recommend, though, in this day and age, and it's what I'm doing now. I almost exclusively see my clients on my tool, my computer. I see them on Skype or other types of avenues where we can do a video chat. Facebook sometimes is a good way to do that, but I really recommend Skype. So if you can set yourself up with a Skype account and you know that your client can get themselves set up on a Skype account, it's really, really easy. Nobody has to leave their location. You're not spending money on fuel to see your clients. And that helps you maybe keep your costs down to your clients too. Okay, let's move on and see what else it would take to start this business. Oh, we talked about location. Let's talk a little bit about marketing, because marketing is key. I can't tell you how many life coaches say to me, Laura, I don't know where you get your clients from. I got my business card and I've been handing it out to everybody I know, and that is so important. Don't stop doing that. Sometimes I go to various places where I get to meet new people, whether that's a party or a banquet, and as we're talking, they might actually tell me something that they're struggling with or working towards, and that's when I whip out my card and say, hey, I think I might be able to help you with that. To be honest with you, that's probably how I got the least amount of my clients. When I first started out, one of my marketing venues was to go to places where people gathered and talk to them. And I did that. I went to Kiwanis and I went to a lot of other community places. I got involved with the chamber office in my area. And I would go and I would visit with people and I would give them some information about life coaching. And I always gave them a coupon that they could use for one free session. Everybody loves free stuff. And so they would come to my office and I would give them this free session where we just sort of got to know each other. Then I would explain to them how I thought life coaching could benefit them. And if I didn't think it was going to benefit them, I was honest about that too. And I told them that I didn't think they needed to waste their time with me. The majority of my clients initially came from that free session that I would give away. Now, my marketing strategy has changed somewhat. I'm too busy. I have too many clients. Oh, not that you could ever really have too many clients, but I have enough clients now that I don't have to give things away for free. So what I do is things like this. I do a lot of YouTube marketing. I market myself on Facebook, website. Have a website. I cannot stress that enough. Have a website. When people get your business card, sometimes they want to check you out and make sure you're really legit. Have a website. Make sure that you work with somebody who knows how to design a really good professional website for you. And if you're not sure what your website should contain, check out the website of other life coaches in your area. See what they're doing. Marketing is really key, and you don't have to be a marketing expert. I know a lot of life coaches who have hired people to help them get their business off the ground by doing some marketing for them. It's actually something I do a lot of now. I do a lot of marketing for other life coaches. Maybe you're thinking that you would like somebody to help you with this process, hold your hand through it, and coach you to the process of becoming a life coach. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. Go ahead and check out my website. You can get some information there. Okay, let's move on. Marketing is key, but there's more to it. Stay up to date. I can't tell you how important it is to stay up to date. The things that people were doing in the life coaching field even 10 years ago is so different than what they're doing now. We've learned a lot about life coaching. We've also learned a lot about the needs of our clients and the perceptions of life coaching. I don't think we have to educate people as much anymore as we used to. A lot of times people would say to me, "A life coach? What's that?" But now we know that everybody has a life coach, and everybody knows what a life coach is. A life coach is just simply somebody who comes along beside you and encourages you, helps you, sets up processes with you so that you can obtain whatever goals you have, whether they be business goals or personal goals. But we don't have to educate people anymore. Stay up to date. Take classes, take some ethics classes. Ethics classes are really, really important if you want to make sure that you keep yourself out of any legal troubles. I also tell people to make sure that they have the right kind of paperwork to present to their clients when they're starting this business. We offer a whole package worth of paperwork in my business, so if you're not sure what type of paperwork to put together for your business, you can certainly come to me, and for a very nominal fee we can offer you a package deal where you get all of the hard copies of the paperwork and you can sort of tailor make it for your business itself. Okay, so looks like we're at the last thing, and that is finally decide what type of coaching you want to do. Because I've done this for so long, I actually coach in 7 different areas. Sometimes more, but really 7 comfortably. So I do business coaching, I do relationship coaching, I do spiritual coaching, I do goal setting coaching, I do parenting coaching. There's several areas that I coach in. But you may not be as comfortable as I am coaching in all of those areas. Maybe you really would like to do health and wellness coaching, which by the way isn't something I'm the most comfortable in, but you might be. So let's say you want to do health and wellness coaching, learn everything that you can about health and wellness. Make sure that as you build your website, as you start to brand yourself as a life coach, that you let people know that that's really your specialty, that you can coach them into a better lifestyle. Maybe you want to help people lose weight. There's so many areas to coach people in. Make sure that you know what you're talking about before you get involved in coaching somebody in an area. Otherwise, your clients are really going to be unhappy. So, it's that simple. Those are the things that you need to do in order to become a life coach. That's really it. Don't expect your business to take off overnight. It takes a lot of hard work, takes a lot of persistency, and you just have to keep marketing yourself and keep at it. As clients leave your agency and maybe they've completed goals, you'll want to replace them with new clients, and that's a never-ending process. Anyway, I hope you've gotten something out of today's video, and I really hope that you are successful in your own life coaching business. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.